What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Folks, sorry about the chat. Obviously, this is a live stream that I did. We did the Forbidden Library together. And I want to go over a couple things. Number one, let's get it out of the way. The disappointment. Yes, there is a little bit of disappointment here. The game mode was way too easy. Not what I expected. And I was hoping for a lot more. All right. Number two, second disappointment. No Essence Stones. I'm going to just throw it out there. There is no Essence Stones in this mode. It is kind of suck. But with that being said, there is a lot of good rewards outside of the Essence Stones and definitely worth doing. It is once a month. And more importantly, it is in beta mode. Okay, so anything can change. Everything will change most likely. And just like they do with SLA's SimGate, they'll most likely adjust it as well. So before I go any further with the video though, guys, I want to remind everybody, content creator program going on. We have 2,000 Essence Stones code coming our way. I already submitted the code. Should be coming very soon from Netmarble to me. And anyone who is supporting will be getting those codes as well. So I want to say a big shout out to my top 10 as usual. Thank you guys, as well as everybody supporting down to the last 3,523. If you guys are not supporting yet, it's free. Hit that button. I send you guys codes. You extend next season. I keep sending you guys codes. Super easy. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps me out as a content creator. All right. Okay, guys. Let's go over this. It's very, very simple mode. If you are anywhere within the range of new to mid player, say 2 million TP, you'll get this done with eyes closed. It's very straightforward. So first off, you guys can see there's a Forbidden Library buff. In this case, the protagonist gets a higher critical rate, and then the protagonist elemental damage is also increased. So the way it works, guys, is you will get to choose some protagonists. Originally, it's assigned to you, okay? And you guys can see eligible elements are fire, water, and dark. About elements, there's a little bit of a gimmick to it. So let's kind of go over this a little bit and talk to you guys how this works, all right? So you guys can see you start off with the Overseer's bookmark. So 4 of these units over here, or 2 of these units over here, are considered your protagonist in the beginning, okay? So it's going to be Fern and Freerin for now. And then from here, you get to choose everybody else on your roster that has a certain amount of power. You can see I selected 14. Power is 1.965, and then you can choose between 12 to 14 characters. These are my highest level characters in terms of TP, so it just kind of chose it on my behalf, okay? And then so one thing to note, you cannot change artifacts and cores in this mode. So if you plan to use these characters in this mode before you start the mode, make sure you already have all the artifacts and cores in there. That is a key thing to remember, okay? So you guys can see here, I put them on and I went to change and it says cannot change, and I was like, what in the world's happening? You guys will see further on that I cannot change. So first mode is pretty straightforward, guys. You run in, you fight a golem. It's super simple, all right? And if you go back a couple seconds, right, in terms of how much power was required, the power was very straightforward. You needed 653k as a 1.02 with no cores on any of these characters. You guys can see it says artifacts are ineligible, and barely any armor on, okay? I was like pretty much butt naked in the snow trying to fight this golem. So first off, change all your cores and armor and everything, artifacts that you want to use beforehand. You cannot adjust anything in here, and I hope they change that in the beta, from the beta to the real thing. Okay, so first off, first fight was a golem. You don't need a breaker, guys. I just had one. I'm just used to it. That's what we do. You could have done this with any unit, probably soloed it if you're a veteran player. For newer players, you definitely want to bring a breaker though, because it is worth it in order just to break this golem in order to do more damage. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? Okay, so the way this works now, you will get a choice here to add another protagonist, all right? So this means you can add another person to the fight. So I went ahead and I think I chose Stark for this one, and you go next, and you'll see here, it says 1 of 1, you'll fight the next boss, right? And so right here, you'll notice that we have a little bit higher power, not very much, a little bit higher, but it's 5 out of 8. Now there's an easy mode, which is 5 fights, and then there's a hard mode, which is 8 fights. This is the hard mode. Okay, so you fight Igris at the 5 mark, and then that will stop at the easy, or you go 8 modes, and then you fight Igris, and then you fight Biru. Okay, now you guys can see here, there's a couple little eye icons here. In the beginning, you get to use the 5 characters. These eye icons mean they only have 2 more turns until they can no longer be used in the library. Okay, so that's how that works. So you want to make sure you kind of rotate this. Now, as you play this game, the library further and further in, you'll be able to get a little bit more buffs along the way. Okay, so you'll see right here, they do the cutscenes from the story in it, so you can rewatch some cutscenes. I'm just gonna, again, the fight's really simple, guys. Break as usual, and then the normal mechanics. You can pretty much one-shot this boss if you're a veteran. Again, this is where the problem lay. I thought this was gonna be a very difficult mode. It's actually a very simple mode. And again, that can be adjusted and changed at any time. So you guys can see victory. Now, as we go along here, we're going to see some buffs pop up. And I don't know if there's another protagonist I get to add. This time they let me add one more. So let's go next boss here. This is the Kasaka Venom Fangs. Or the snakes, or the blue snake, the Kasaka blue snake. It is Venom Fang, Kasaka, there we go. And then here we'll just break it. Again, I'm just showing you what the mode works. Okay, so the third boss, you kill a boss, cutscene happens, you can skip the cutscene. And then right here, you can add one more protagonist. So again, adding another layer to your team. And then right here, this is what I'm talking about, right? So I'm gonna pause this right here. You get 3 different plot twists. That's what they're called. So the first one is I call it a verse unwritten, where you can give a protagonist a trust point, which is one of those eye things, so you can refresh it. So don't be scared about using a protagonist. You'll get an eye point here. The other one here, for the next story, you will receive 200% damage from that protagonist, only for the next story, guys. And then after that, you can also switch out one protagonist for 3 random characters. So if you have too many protagonists, you don't plan to use them all, you want 3 more characters added in case you picked wrong, for example, this is a great chance. All right, so this is what essentially you get to choose. I chose an extra eye. I gave it to Fern, so she's back to 2. So here's Igris. This is where you would stop for the easy mode, quote unquote easy mode. Okay, and you guys can see for easy mode, if I go back, it's at 870k. Again, very easy fight, right? And again, the mode here is straightforward. It is the same Igris fight you fought all along. It's super fast, super easy. And again, for newer players, you definitely want to bring a breaker, bring the proper elements, etc. Right now, one thing to note about your protagonist, they have something called prism. I think it's prism elements or something like that. Or anyways, the point is they're every element. So they're strong against every element. It'll be like a rainbow colored looking element. Okay. So if you are using a protagonist instead of a random character, you'll have these elements right there. You guys can see those like little rainbow colored elements on the top of the frames. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, so there you go. We have 5 of 8. Same thing happens here. You'll go through the modes, and you can see here they're getting a little stronger, right? But again, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy. This is a boss we've all fought many times. And then from here, you get another protagonist. And then this is the third last boss. After this boss and the next boss, you'll get one more option to choose one of the buffs. Okay, sorry, I keep popping up my windows there. But here, let me go to the next one. This boss here has a little bit more TP, if I recall. Where we're at here, hold on, let me go back. 816. Super easy still, right? And this is, of course, the Lich from Deimos. Beat him, didn't even need to break him there. And you'll get the next buff again, right? So again, I just gave another trust point to one of my units. You can see I've used a lot of them. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll give somebody, I give Cha more trust. And then you're off to the last boss, or in this case, the last boss is Beru, okay? Very straightforward fight. Everything's exactly the same, guys. Again, nothing changes. There's really no need to give you a real guide on the fights. The fights are straightforward. If you've seen any of my Beru guides, they're all the same. The fights are easy. Anybody who's even a newer player, you'll be able to get through. This is a whole month, guys. Even if you're a new player, you'll be able to finish this in probably about a week, even with a fresh start on the entire game, because you probably get over 1 million TP in a week nowadays. It's pretty straightforward, right? But what I want to go towards is the actual rewards. Okay, the rewards, in my opinion, were pretty good. So here's what we get. Story report right here. You guys can see in the bottom, right? So you get yourself 15 enhanced or re-enhanced armor tickets. You get 3 of the blessings and the gems. The skills and the gems. And then you get 2,500 of the advanced crystals, which is great, which means you can buy them more at the exchange shop. And then 8.75 million gold. Overall, rewards are fine. The only thing it's really missing, of course, is the fact that it's missing the essence stones, which again is not the end of the world. It'd be nice to have more ways to get essence, but the game gives us quite a bit. So all in all, guys, not a bad mode. A little disappointing in terms of gameplay. I expected a lot more, to be honest. I was hoping they'd give us way more things in regards to like using SRs and other things like that, but it's pretty straightforward. But it is in beta, right? It is in beta. You guys can see here, it literally says it's in beta right there in the big yellow. So hopefully they make adjustments, better rewards, a little bit better rewards, and overall more difficult content. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the library. Remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.